Woo! Good morning, everybody out there in TikTok land, Facebook world, everywhere there is a touch of live or recorded session going on out here. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. Hopefully, you all are doing great out there. Hopefully, you have survived the weekend and you're ready for the work week. Now, not everybody's going to be ready for the work week 100%. And I get that because not everybody likes to go to work. Who does like to go to work? I never liked to go to work when I went to work. It was just, hey, you had to have that money because of, Uncle Sam wanting their cut, all that good shit like that. Good morning, Mr. Roy, Joe, Bradley, Twinkle Toes, Sparkle Butt, Twilight Lover Jr., you big OU Schooner fan, Oklahoma City Thunder fan. Good job. Casey, welcome to the broadcast booth, buddy. Glad to see you here this morning. I did a little different angle this morning on the camera. It's a wonky, janky little setup, but hey, I can look almost at the same area right here on the cameras and not have to be like, I'm looking down here at this camera, and then this camera is just recording the top of my hat. All that stuff. Yes, Oklahoma Sooner fan. I get it there, Roy. I understand 100%. I have the pictures that you've sent me to prove it. And, there you go. And you talk about the Sooners all the time. So, so there you go. And that's a good thing because you are surrounded by a few Oklahoma people here in myself and Mr. Casey right there himself. He too is a Oklahoma native. So how are you all doing out there? You guys good to go for the duration of the show? Or Roy, are you gonna bow out because I'm getting tired? I've been up all night again, playing tiddlywinks with myself. Now I gotta go to sleep. Uh-huh. See, right there, you talking about Oklahoma is the greatest conversation starter ever. Good job, Roy. Thank you for your participation. And but we don't give participation trophies around here. We live in the really real world where participation trophies don't exist. I know you'll keep talking about Oklahoma. You just can't get enough. Love them or hate them, they're still in your mouth. All right, so today's topic is all about what should I draw up next when it comes to a blank comic cover or just something in general. I've got my horror series going. I've got my commissions going. Um, I just I'm almost 100% finished with this one right here. You see all that nice little sparkle and shine on his chains, his AK right there, all the sparkling shine going on. It's real metallic paint on it, even on his grill in his mouth. It's not grill, it's caps. They keep calling it a grill, so I keep calling it a grill right there. Yes, that good old cracker character. Yeah, that's one I do need to draw up. And and don't forget to like, share, and follow when you get here. For those of you, and just because when we talk about support, it doesn't have to be financially. The biggest support when it comes to artists, and again, not just illustrators, but musicians, actors, so on and so forth, of people that you like, their pages and stuff like that. The best support you can give somebody is to like, share, follow, and comment on their stuff. That gets more people to interact with their post. Um, and more cool stuff needs to be interacted with on Facebook, TikTok, and things of that nature because there's too much. See, I got to check myself because I don't want a restriction because I want to reach more people. Um, there's too much. I'm trying to think of the word, so give me a second. Idiocracy on all of these platforms because my opinion is the only right opinion. 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 You come on my page and you go against my opinion, you're wrong. You're of the devil, you know? And that's all I see when it comes to posts, especially when it comes to people putting their political opinions out there, their religious their views out there, um, their food opinions out there. If you go against my ideology, not mine, but whoever's posting it out there, then you are wrong and of the devil. And you can just go burn with your whatever ideologies that you align with and all that bullshit. So there needs to be some cool stuff happening when it comes to posts, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social medias you use. And I know there's a million other social medias that people flock to. And it was just like, what was it called? Blue something or other. I think it was Blue Sky or something like that. That everybody supposedly jumped ship to. And all of a sudden, you don't hear about it anymore. I know it's still in use because this is a topic that somebody was on, the other day, and it was like, oh, I still use it on a daily basis, and it's just like, but you don't hear about it anymore. Before, whenever TikTok was going to be owned by whatever, so on and so forth, and everything else, everybody was jumping ship from here and whatever other platforms they were jumping from, X, I think maybe, and things of that nature. Then all of a sudden, that was the talk of the town. That's all you saw on every platform. It's just like whenever people were jumping to the red dot or whatever the hell it was called to replace TikTok. But then they found out, oh, we can be thrown in jail for our opinions and stuff that we post on there because it's a Chinese owned app, you know, and and they don't play, you know. So congratulations for those of you that jumped over to that app and are no longer free, you know. So there needs to be more fun. There needs to be more cool stuff. There needs to be, yes, I know we're never going to get away from politics. We're never going to get away from religion. And that's why we don't talk about those two items here on my platform. We talk about horror movies, sci fi movies, sports, comic books, comic book artwork, my comic books, my artwork. And we try to get away from the humdrum bullshit that the world wants us to fall into. Because why conform? Why not be who you are? You know, why not have fun with life? Because there's too much drudgery, there's too much shit to wade through anyway. So why not have fun with your own life? You know? And if that means, and I'm not telling anybody to do this, this is for entertainment purposes only, TikTok. If you have to quit your job to create the life you want, the dream you have, do it. I did, and I haven't looked back since, you know, because I get to do this shit all day long. I get to play with animals all day long. Yeah, animal mucking isn't fun, because you got to clean the coops, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to feed the damn things, and that costs money. So all the gifts and things that I get from here goes back into all of that. Goes back into the printing process. It goes back into the food for the animals, which is stacked in my fucking hallway over here. If I no, you probably can't even see it from there, but let me just right there. You see all that food right there? pig food, chicken starter for my baby chicks. I got cat food. I got dog food. Where's the human food? Oh, it's not in there. It's supposedly in the fridge, but which needs to be cleaned out. So, you know, have fucking fun with your damn life. You know, yes, hogs are only good in a barbecue. That's the only good place a hog is good for, because otherwise, well, I mean, they're cute, to begin with, but when it comes to sports teams, there's only a barbecue that's good for. And we had Art's barbecue just the other day. You can say damn here, Roy. It's okay. And but yes, the hogs are only good in a barbecue. A luau. I mean, that that smoky skin that you get to chew off, and that oh, you gonna leave? You gonna go to another creator site? Yep, 100%. Two diehard Okies right here. All right, um, so have fun with your damn life. You know, don't let other people dictate what you're gonna do, and because if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna be doing what everybody else wants you to do your entire life. And I see that one too many times, is that people conform way too much to what other people want, and it gets ridiculous when it comes down to it, because why do you want to be a lemming? Why do you want to be told what to do 24/7? And you see it in relationships, you see it in workplaces, you see it, you know on social media. Yes, I get there's a whole culture of, what is it called, subs, or whatever the fuck it is, the doms and subs and all that bullshit. Um, I get that culture. And we're not talking about that. I mean, we could, but we're not. Um, and so there are people that want to be controlled. Let's just throw that out there, okay? But why not be in control of your own life, of your own thoughts, of your own actions, you know, of your own volition? My greatest regret is settling and not doing my thing because of others. No, I get that 100%, because that's why I put all of this down for nearly 6 years because of a person telling me it wasn't good enough. That was my second ex-wife. She got it into my head that my artwork was not good enough to put money in the household, to pay for the bills, to pay for food, to do this, to do that. That I had to get a 9 to 5 job or more, 12-hour job or 16-hour job or whatever I had to do to bring money into the household. Well, now it's a 24-hour a day job, 365 days a year, most of the time. Do I get a vacation? No. I've got animals I got to take care of. Do it's very hard for me to even break away to go see my parents for a few days, because I don't want to leave the burden on Audrey, the girlfriend, to take care of everything, all the animals and stuff like that. We just added 4 rats to the house. Some of them aren't long for this world anyway, because they're already old. But she loves her rats. She's had rats. She's had all kinds of animals growing up. But yeah, we just added 4 rats to the household. Uh, got their cage all set up and stuff like that yesterday, and we went and picked them up from the rescue, the rehab, and all that good stuff. So now we have 4 rats. If you haven't seen the post out there, um, so I just don't want to leave that burden to her, just because I need to go see my parents. I need to go take care of some things around their house. I've got to build their dog run for their little mutt that won't stay in the yard if you let him out the door. He'll run down the street, and their street is 2 miles long before you get to the next house, you know. Um, I mean, they've got a neighbor that's quarter of a mile down the road. But anyway, so you know, I still let a few things dictate what I have to do because I do have a homestead. I do artwork on a regular basis, and so even leaving to go take care of my parents for a little bit because they're in their elderly years. My mom just got out of the hospital, doing good. She's in an empty house right now because my stepdad is in the hospital. So, that's the age they are right now. He's possibly going to end up getting a pacemaker put in, just to keep his heart regulated. I mean, honestly, he shouldn't even be here right now because he has had X amount of strokes. He's had X amount of bypass surgeries, quadruples, and all that good stuff. He's had his rotor-rooter veins cleaned out, all this other good stuff. And he gets around better than she does, but he still expects her to wait on him hand and foot when it comes to things like food and things of that nature. And, when he's left alone, like she was in the hospital for, oh, geez, how long was she in the hospital? 3 weeks, maybe? And yes, he can't drive, so he couldn't come see her because number one, they live in Hugo, which is down by the Texas border. Well, they took her to Tulsa, which is up by Kansas border, all that good stuff. And so he couldn't visit her. Now he's in the hospital and wanting her to come stay with him at the hospital. She walks with a walker. She's 83 or 84 years old. You know, she can't do that. So he's going to be in the hospital by himself, getting visited by the nurses and stuff like that. Chaplain, whoever else is going to come visit him, because he's in Oklahoma City, which is 3 hours away from me, 3 hours away, or about an hour and a half from my brother, because he's not too far in Tulsa area from Oklahoma City. So it's just a big mess. And if they do put the pacemaker in, he's either going to be going to Dallas or Plano to get that done. So why they can't just do it where he's at now, I don't know. All that good stuff. So, and just to go take care of any of that type of stuff, it makes me feel guilty because, okay, Audrey's having to sit here and take care of it all. Why am I going to leave all that burden on her when she's having to work? Like right now, she's at work and she works her 8 hour shift, or yeah, 8 hour shift, and then she's tired. You know, she doesn't want to come home and immediately start taking care of the animals. You know, which if she comes home for lunch, she takes care of a little bit of them. Like she'll probably come home for lunch and will eat a little bit if she wants to eat, and then she'll probably go straight to her rats and play with them. You know, and then like she said, is it bad that I don't want to do the gym thing? And I'm like, no, because people get to that point. It's not. It wasn't a resolution or whatever they call it, the New Year's resolution, because it's just a lifestyle change that we wanted to start working out again. And through her work, it makes it easy because the money comes right off the top. You don't even see it, and you just take your little number to the gym, whatever gym you want to go to that's on their list, and boom, you're working out. You know, and it's just a lifestyle change because as you get older, I'm already 54, I'll be 55 soon. And if you don't start making changes in your life to better yourself, and that's not just in health wise, but that's the biggest key so that you can have a longevity of your lineage, of your destiny, of your, empire that you're trying to build, then it's going to be short lived. And that's in anything. 9, We're sitting at 9, Casey. So I appreciate you guys liking, sharing, and following, and listening to my little rants of stop putting stupid shit on social media. Yes, it's your opinion. Yes, it's your this. Yes, it's your that. And you can't get mad when somebody comes and puts their opinion on your opinion because everybody's going to have a different opinion. It doesn't matter who you are. Yes, you're going to find your people that align with your opinion and agree that let's just take a age old debate. Art the Clown franchise versus the Chucky franchise. Okay? You've got your camp, that's Team Chucky all the way. You've got your camp, that's Team Art the Clown Terrifier franchise all the way. From back in the day when it first started with Ninth Gate, All Hallows Eve, Terrifier, Terrifier 1, 2, 3, and now 4 is getting ready to come out. I'm a Chucky fanatic. That's the greatest franchise ever. Terrifier franchise sucks ass. I'm an Art the Clown franchiser. And the whole Child's Play bullshit is stupid. Two contradicting opinions about a horror movie franchise. Two horror movie franchises. I like both. I love both. When it comes to horror, you've got to be really, really idiotic for me not to enjoy some aspect of your movie. Okay? But you get the diehards out there that are I'm team like let's take Roy for example. I'm team Twilight. It's the greatest vampire movie ever made. I want to throw up in my mouth. Twilight is the worst of the worst vampire movies, and I would put it against any other vampire movie out there. And it's still going to suck. Just because of what they did to it. Just because of how she wrote it. But yet, you've got the huge Twilight followers that are waiting for that next movie to drop. That are hoping that Kristen, whatever the fuck her name is going to redo the franchise and either make it closer to the book or put her spin on it. And it is the worst of the worst series when it comes to vampire. I would even watch the fucking Vampire Diaries on the CW over the fucking Twilight series. Okay? That's how opinionated I am about the Twilight series. Whenever my kids drag me to see the first movie, and I've seen other ones since, I could not stop dying laughing. The acting was ferocious, was horrific, and not in a good way. The plot sucked. The sparkling vampires was the worst. Yeah, whatever the fuck her name is. I don't even think she's made a decent movie in her entire career. Just to be honest. I mean, at least what the fuck's his name? Pattison has a huge diverse ability to change his character up in the movies that he plays in. You know, instead of just being stereotyped as Edward the vampire, you know. And but the worst series out there when it comes to horror movies or vampire movies. I can't even say it's horror. Um, but see, that's my opinion. And then you've got the opinion of my girlfriend, Audrey. You've got the opinion of Roy right here that say it's the greatest series ever made. The greatest love story ever made. Oh, bullshit. And again, I would fucking watch the Vampire Diaries over the fucking Twilight series. And I don't like either one of them, you know. But yet you've got your diehard Pretty Little Liar fans. You've got your diehard um, Vampire Diary. You got your diehard Buffy the Vampire series. You know, how old is her character, Kristen Stewart, in the Twilight series? Like 12, with a 800-year-old vampire. You know, make that make sense, people. Nah, she's in her teenage years, but I don't know what her age is in the actual show. She's super young in the book. Yes, no, I get what your point is, and we're not going into the whole Pizzagate either. So, but yes, no, she's young, and he's like, you know, I I don't even know how old Edward is, and it's written by a Mormon. So there you go. Oh look, we just brought in all of the things that we don't talk about here, religion and in one movie, and then the politics of Pizzagate. So there you go. But you're going to have opinions on everything. You have opinions on people that love or hate Copic markers. You know, you have the people that love or hate crystal marker or whatever the fuck these are, Prismacolor markers, or bristles, or Bristol books, even when it comes to the literature that people read. No, I only read the nonfiction. I only read the fiction. I only read horror books. I only read dark romance. I only read, and the list goes on and on. Historical, so on and so forth, conspiracy theorists, aliens, cryptids, you name it. Everybody's got an opinion on it. Well, cryptids aren't real. That's a bunch of bullshit. If they were so real, why isn't there more documented proof? And then, boom, AI comes on the scene. Oh, look, I've got documented proof now of Bigfoot. I've got documented proof of aliens. I've got documented proof of chupacabras, so on and so forth. That's why AI needs to fucking go away. They need to figure out a way to just unplug that bullshit and be done with it. That's just my opinion on AI. AI sucks. AI will never be a thing for me. So there you go. So now, besides the cracker thing, and not talking about just the color of my skin, and not throwing up a fist or anything like that, I'm just showing you the color of my skin. Um, we have that as a drawing point for a cracker character for it to be drawn up next. I do have, like I said, several different blank comic sketch covers that I'm gonna be working on throughout the year. Again, the next one I'll be working up while I'm working on the commissions is this one. This one's up for grabs for anybody that wants to get it. Right here, Emma Frost, the White Queen. Right here, we have Jared Leto's Joker, and I know that's not everybody's favorite Joker out there either, and that's why I put on my Facebook post. Doesn't matter if you like him or not as the Joker. That is what the person wanted, and they enjoy that Joker. You know, so there you go on that note. Because even if you don't like a specific character, it doesn't mean it's not somebody else's favorite character when it comes down to it. It's just like you've got your diehard Hot Wheels fans. They will not pick up a Matchbox car, period, because that is the inferior knockoff to Hot Wheels. But then you've got vice versa. You got the Matchbox diehards that will not pick up a Hot Wheel because even though Hot Wheel is more popular than Matchbox, they've collected Matchbox their whole life. Ever since they were a kid. Those type things. And it's like you get so heated, and people get so heated over the stupidest shit when it comes down to, characters or franchises or those type things that it's quite humorous sometimes to watch their debates going on about, you know, why they dislike this side of the things. And so it's just like Roy here trying to say a barbecue is the better team when they're not. They actually suck. Um, and they follow in line with Bill Clinton, on the cheating side of things. Um, and so there you go, Roy. And yes, your stupid, and I will say stupid, um, barbecue is in the Sweet 16. Who cares? Only people that enjoy them are happy that they're there. They're not going to last much longer. So, you know, I'm surprised they actually won against the two teams they did win. Oh, wait, they were lower seeds. Oh, my goodness. Is that why you beat them? Because they were the lower seed? Let me think on that. They were a number 12 and a number 13 team. You're supposedly a number 14. Hmm. Hmm. Still sucks. Okay. That's why they should pit them against real teams whenever they get to the tournament. Um. So there you go. That's my take on your barbecue that's out there. That supposedly is in the Sweet 16 for March Madness, which takes over everybody's fucking TV for the entirety of March and part of April. And they just need a whole separate section for that, so people can watch their regularly scheduled broadcasting. Because you've got a lot of people that are upset that basketball has taken over their TV for the entire month of March. Just like you were upset that what was it that took over? Oh, the Olympics. Whenever it took over your TV and you couldn't watch your Chicago shows, you know, same difference right here. You Everybody's got their opinion on it. I could care less. Even if OU was in there, I could care less. You know, but they didn't make the cut. Okay, cool. You know, they still got into another tournament. Yes, it's a lower tournament, but they were the number one seed in that tournament. So there you go. Even Arkansas can't say that they were a number one seed in anything. I think you guys finished what, dead last in the SEC in football? Yeah, you won 2 games. Is that correct? So congratulations. See, everybody's got their opinions on everything. So have fun with life is the main key. And you know, so artwork coming up. I pulled out a bunch more stuff that I'm going to be working on as well. So I already know some themes that I'm going to be working on. These are just some of the ones that I've got right here. A sexy pink Power Ranger is going to be happening right here. So yes, sexify. Everybody likes that. Some Dazzler, always a fan favorite. I've been a Dazzler fan for a very long time. Now I don't so much care for what they did to her um, in the most recent stylings of it because, once again, they took a perfectly good character and they flipped the script on her. Okay? So if you've never seen Dazzler before, very cool book, or she was a very cool character back when she first was introduced. And then some Spawn right here. Been doing some Spawn. Dun, dun, dun. Again, Todd McFarlane just announced that he is no longer going to be writing Spawn. They're bringing in another writer after over however many issues he's done as the writer of Spawn. He is taking a step back, and Todd McFarlane is not going to be writing Spawn anymore. That's a creative decision for him. So all that good stuff. So you already saw the one Uncanny X-Men with Emma Frost. I'm going to be doing another one right here. I'm thinking about doing a Nightcrawler one right there. Bloodstained Teeth, which could be anything, not using what's inside. I can use vampires, I can use zombies, I can use some kind of a creature, all that good stuff right here with this one. American Vampire 1976. I was 5 years old then. So here, again, any vampire will do on here. Or even somebody hunting a vampire. Rick and Morty. This one, Sleepy Gary. Reminds me of my stepdad, unfortunately. But the other sad part is what's happening inside here, which everybody is thinking that it's normal anymore. If you know, you know, and if you don't, we can talk in DMs. All new X Factor, right here, that has X Factor and X Force, two very cool books right there. Not sure what I'm going to do there yet. Marvel Comics 1000, a very thick book. And this one might do a multitude of characters on here with this one. The Last Shadowhawk from Image Comics with Valentino, or Valentine, Valentino, whatever his name is, who wrote the book. This is cover G from the Shadow line, as it says on the back right there. Boom, boom, boom. Shadowhawk is a very cool character. He's got these gloves that he has. 14.7. We're dropping views right there, dropping likes. He's got this glove that's got these spikes that come off of right here. So it's not like claws coming out like Wolverine, but it's like these spikes right there. Green Lantern. I've already done a Green Lantern, but there's another one right here. Vader down, another Darth Vader or some kind of characters going on there. Bloodshot. Vin Diesel did a good job of that character. Civil War 2. This one can have Captain America, Iron Man, so on and so forth on this one. And then all the Doctor Who's right here, from David Tennant to whatever Doctor that one is, to whatever Doctor that one is. That's the 11th Doctor. So you got the 10th and 11th Doctor, and I'm not sure if this is the 9th Doctor or the 12th Doctor. No, the 12th Doctor after him was the female one. And then just your typical variant cover right here. But each one of these has a themed picture in the corner to show which Doctor it is. This was the 10th Doctor. This one was the 11th Doctor right there. And then I'm not sure which one this one is. If that's the 11th Doctor or if that is the 13th Doctor or, whatever. So, because I know after this guy that it was the female Doctor that they brought in next. So it goes 10, 11, 12 with the female Doctor, but then I'm not sure who this guy is. So, but that's just me. So that's some of the ones that I'm going to be working on. There's 15, 20 books right there. So that's, again, on top of what I'm already doing. And we did pick up another little slew of comic books just the other day. Found a couple of cool ones. Right here, this is Dazzler getting you know, Barry Windsor Smith look here on the cover with Storm right there. This is just a cool cover. The artwork alone on it is super cool. And again, this is from, before I mess something up, let me go very gingerly in this way. So I got to get them in bag and boards and things like that. And yes, Barry Windsor Smith is the artist. Interiors as well. From 1987, number 214. From 1987, Barry Windsor Smith doing the art. Barry Windsor Smith is just awesome when it comes to his stylings. And always been one of my favorites. Jim Shooter was the editor in chief, who's no longer with us either from back then. But very, very cool artwork right there. And then right here, number 232, with some Jim Lee happening up in here. Jim Lee coming on. Chris Claremont. Oh, Mark Silvestri. Jim Lee was almost on the scene. Dan Green. But 232 of the Uncanny X-Men, my favoriteest group of X-Men in the world. And then towards the end of the run with 532 here, or 543, which is coming up on the very end, the Juggernaut Colossus mashup that they did later on. With Colossus, they gave him Juggernaut powers. So, you know, very interesting creation with that combination. Again, almost done with the Jared Leto Joker. I got a couple of little um, tweaks to do to it, and then it'll be finished. So I'm looking for my next stuff to do. But like I said, I've got the horror series that I'm working on, which we've got the three into it right now, which is Ghostface, Freddy, and Jason right now. Next up is Pumpkinhead and Candyman. And then, yes, Chucky will be back in there from Child's Play. You will have Michael Myers in there, which, again, is, out of the horror franchises, that is Roy's favoritist of them all. Um, Whereas you get the people that are like, Michael Myers sucks, you know? And I like the whole, Friday the 13th franchise better than I do Halloween, you know? And again, everybody's going to have their opinions on everything when it comes to sports teams, when it comes to colleges, when it comes to, what comic book is better than this comic book, or, I hate this comic book because, you know, me, I love all comic books. Yeah, there's some characters that I do not like, I will never like, and never have liked, which has been popular opinion for a lot of people that, oh, that's the greatest character ever invented. So you're cool that that he had to shoot up to get his superpowers. Steve Rogers, Captain America. Oh, you take Superman off of Earth's yellow sun, and now he's just a normal dude. Oh, Supergirl is an alien blob that just took the form of a human girl or woman, and she's supposedly related to Superman, Clark Kent, Kal El. Make that make sense. There's just characters out there that I can't stand, and I never have liked them. And there's tons of people that have fallen in love with the characters. You know, Captain America, not one of my favorite characters. Superman, definitely not one of my favorite characters. You give me a whole list of DC characters, and I'll pinpoint the ones I do not like. That's pretty much any of them but Batman. Batman's a regular dude. Yes, he's got tons of money that was inherited to him because of his parents passing, and he works for what he does. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like Casey said, I'm happy there are so many out there and so much to choose from. And that's anything. That's movies because you got your diehard Hallmark movie fans, Roy, and you've got your other fans that hate Hallmark movies. I fall in that category. Um, I can't stand Hallmark movies. I really can't. And but you've got the people that can't wait for their Christmas movies to come out. When just buy the damn thing and you can watch it anytime you want to. You know, I can't wait for Christmas to come around. Why? An overpriced holiday. Pretty much any of them. Easter, Halloween, Christmas, birthdays. I mean, why do you have to drop so much cash to make people happy? You know, why can't they just be happy that you're there, that you're still breathing? Why do we have to drop so much cash on holidays? It's never made sense to me. I mean, yeah, as a kid, it was great to get those gifts and oh, Santa came to visit, you know, and it's quite ridiculous how overpriced holidays are, but yet we all buy into it. Oh, did you see the newest thing that came out for Christmas this year? We all got to get it. No, we don't. I didn't even decorate last year. I didn't even put up my Dallas Cowboy Christmas tree in here because I didn't have the room. I barely have the room now to put it up. Yes, absolutely commercialized. Everything is commercialized and it's ridiculous. Um, I mean, hunting and fishing, which are essential parts of living, are over commercialized as well. So, see, I can flip the script on that. All you need is a string, a hook, and some bait. That's all you need. You don't need all this fancy gadgetry to go catch fish. Does it help? Sometimes. Oh, did you see the latest one on TikTok that's got this spinning butt end that supposedly draws the catfish from the bottom? That's that's how it goes. Everything like Casey said is commercialized, and it never should have been that way in ever. But that's where corporate America pushes things to go into is commercialized bullshit. Get back into the handcrafted gifts. Get back into the stuff you can afford instead of having to go into debt for your children. Yes, I know you want a good life for your children, so make the good life having money in the bank, not having a bunch of shit laying around that's going to be broken in a week. That goes with video games too. Have you seen some of the stupid videos out there about kids throwing video games because it's not the right one, it's not the right game system, it's not this, and then they're breaking the shit? That would never fly. Corporal punishment is coming back, and it needs to come back in the household. You know, a lot of this shit will stop out in the world. But no, we have to cater to the child because, oh, they'll call CPS on us. Let them. Yeah, they got a butt whooping. Yeah, they got their ass spanked because they were acting a fool. Try living in the 60s, 70s, and 80s when that shit was still going on in homes and in school. When you still got SWATs in school. I think it was the late 90s, early 2000s whenever they took corporal punishment out of school. And then you started seeing a bunch of shit happening in school. Well, when you had consequences for your actions, you didn't do stupid shit. Incorrect. You still did stupid shit. You just hope you didn't get caught because there was consequences for your actions. But nowadays, there's no consequences for your actions. We had to get our own switch. We had, oh yeah, absolutely, you know. And you picked the wrong switch. You got spanked with that switch, and then they went and got the switch that you should have got in the first place and got you with that one too. The belts, the spoons, the wooden spoons from the house for cooking utensils. You know, this generation would not have survived in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and early 90s. I guarantee it. And they would have been trying to do the whole cancel culture back then, you know, just like they're doing now with, oh well, all those TV shows back in the day need to be gone because they were this that they had too much fun on those TV shows and they were so derogatory. Oh my god, get a life, people. Fucking grow up is what needs to happen. Quit being a little bitch. Control what you can control, which is your fucking self, which you can't control that most of the time, and have fun with life. Because life is meant to have fun with. It's not meant to be a stupid asshole. I mean, let me just kick the soapbox out from under me right now. Because if I keep going, we're going to start getting into the whole shit that we don't talk about around here, politics and religion. Speaking of religion, oh, there's no religion in my comic book. All right. There's a lot of cool stuff in my comic book, from cryptids to um, wizards and warlocks and witches and all that good stuff as well. Yes, self control is lacking today, as you know. Absolutely 100%. There is no self control with people anymore. And so, yes, I'm still in the process of writing my book, my comic book, a 4-issue miniseries. I know I haven't given the title, and that's on purpose. I haven't given the whole synopsis of the book. That's on purpose. Because again, I don't want people running off with it, which I've seen happen in the industry many times over. Again, the book signing is happening this weekend. Because what is today? Today is the 23rd. So on the 29th, 6 days from now, there is going to be a book signing in Ozark, Arkansas. I will be getting my comp books as well. Um, he's already changed the book cover look from what it is now. Yes, it still looks like this, but he's added the title to the cover here and down here. And then he's put his lovely mug right here and then moved some things around on this as well. Um, Nightfold Press is who he's working with on this book. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, I will be doing inking at the live event um, on the 29th. One of his characters, Harrow, or Haro, however you want to say it, who is actually going to be in book 2. And from there, we're just going to have a lot of fun. Q&A. I'm pretty sure he's going to read part of his book, if I had to guess. Hopefully it's a good turnout. I don't know his following 100%. Oh, I knew there was something I wanted to talk about. So, he's got this on an author's page, okay? The book cover, all that good stuff. And I'm following the conversation that he's got with people talking about his book. He's got his 5-star reviews and all that good stuff. He's gotten already several 5-star reviews on the book, from people that have grabbed it up and read it. Someone I'm sorry. Hold on. I got to collect myself a minute. The dot work. All right. So someone asked him, and they did it in a way I've never quite seen before. In the author page for writers and stuff like that. Um, someone asked, "Is the cover A dash I?" And he comes back and says, "No, the cover is not AI generated. It was done by a person that's following this thread and commenting on this thread." Um, and he gives my name and all that good stuff. And I come back and I was like, "Well, I appreciate you thinking my cover is AI artwork, but in fact, it is actually acrylic on canvas that was hand painted, and no, there's not black walls. That's actually a navy blue wall back there. So appreciate it, but again, not black. It's navy blue." And so I was like, "No, this is not AI generated." And I put AI instead of A dash I, like she was trying to beat around the bush with AI. And I was like, "No, but if you do need anything done, you can hit me up. And if you think it looks like AI, that's cool, but I don't do AI. AI sucks, all that good stuff." So that was quite humorous that someone thought my painting was AI generated. And but no, all these are hand done, right here, right here. All that stuff is hand done, and there's no AI generated stuff that I use. Period. So now that was quite a humorous little ride right there. Was that someone thinking my stuff was AI generated? There is an artist that I have some questions about though, because overnight his style changed just like that. I'm not going to bring it up on here. I mean, I brought it up on here, but I'm not going to show his stuff and things like that on here because he does periodically look at my stuff, on Facebook. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you want to know more, we can talk about it, and I'll show you pictures about what I mean. Because on December, like the last day of December, or the Christmas Day, December, I'll talk about that one later as well. It's something the girlfriend did for me. That yeah, it's me and my son, and we'll get into that one eventually. I haven't gone there yet with it, just because it's a cool picture. Um, she had it done up, and we'll talk about that off camera. And so the whole aspect of things. No, no, no. It's nothing to be sorry about. I'll just explain it to you off camera. So, and it's kind of cool when people think that what you're doing is AI in a way, I guess, even though it's not. Now, the other guy on December 25th, his style was this, but come January, his style is this. 100% complete turnaround from what he was doing. I have a lot of questions. A lot of questions. And I'll show you what I'm talking about off camera. But because I don't want it to get back to that person, if you will. And it could, and it would. Just like there was an aspect of, I was talking about another artist who decided they were no longer going to be talking about AI because I'm pretty sure they got called out one too many times over calling someone's work AI when they weren't. You know, because if you actually go to the person's page that he's calling out as AI, you're sitting there physically watching them work on the piece. You be it a painting, be it markers, be it color pencil, whatever it is, and so they had to back away from their stance on who is doing AI artwork and who isn't. So, all of that goody good stuff. Um, so yeah, no, so you just got to be careful with things that you talk about with certain individuals, um, because you can be the butt of the joke. Is how it can turn around on you, and so you know that's why keep your opinion to yourself on certain things sometimes. Again, everybody's going to have their opinion. Everybody's got their opinion on certain things. Um, but when it comes down to it, if you want to voice your opinion, do it. But you, us, have the choice to scroll past that opinion. I do it all the time. I do not have to stop on somebody's page that I disagree with and put my 2 cents in, because you're not going to change their opinion. If they think this whole group of people, because they align themselves with this, that makes them, every person that aligns themselves with this stance falls under this category now. You're not going to change their mind. Yes, we grew up with accountability. Now they are bold because lack thereof. Absolutely 100%. And the bad part is you've got teachers that are putting this stuff out. You've got trainers that are putting this stuff out. That my opinion is the only right opinion. And if you don't agree with it, then you are part of this group over here. And you can't be a part of this group. You can't have any other opinion other than what that opinion is that you're following. And whatever you say, I'm not going to listen to you anyway. Oh, absolutely. And we're talking about adults in their 30s, you know, getting ready to hit their 40s. So, well, this whole I feel sorry for this whole next generation. That's why if I moved off grid somewhere, I'm good. I would be good. And not to listen to the opinions of half these people that I'm friends with, I would be golden. And I've unfriended people. Well, actually, I didn't unfriend them. They blocked me for my opinion on their page because I went against their opinion and they blocked me. Most of the time I scroll past, but sometimes I stop and give my own. I get that. I get that, and we all do it. You know, I know I've done it a couple times, but anymore it's just like there's no sense in it. Why do I want to waste my breath with my opinion on their opinion? It's not going to change anything. You know, it's just like if I were to have a conversation with Jerry Jones about the Dallas Cowboys. My opinion is not going to give two rats shakes of an ass for what he's going to do with the team. I'm glad right now he's in a complete rebuild of the defense, 100%, including the entire fucking defensive staff. And yes, it hurt that we let Odighizuwa walk to the fucking Liners, but but it's a necessary evil because Odighizuwa wasn't going to fit the scheme, and so I get it. But he was still a great player coming into his own, and absolutely, it feels good to get it out. But sometimes you just got to voice that opinion to yourself in a loud voice in your room. Okay, now I've got that opinion out, and I didn't have to write it down on their post. You know, I do that a lot. I gripe about conversations that I see people having on social media. I'll voice my opinion outside here, as I'm reading it, and I will voice my opinion out loud. You're a fucking idiot. I can't believe you're talking like this. I can't believe you're grouping everybody into this category that goes against your opinion. And David Casey knows what I'm talking about because I showed him that conversation um, the other day. Because we get into some deep philosophical conversations from time to time. Not all the time, but quite a bit of times. Roy, we get into the whole ROMs conversations. Remembering when I got in TikTok jail for using my middle, absolutely, 100%. I mean, you only had like 20 of them on that person's page, so I can only imagine that you only got a couple of hours of detention. You know, a little slap on the wrist for that. So yeah, 100%. I totally remember. But throw in the comments what, and we're only at 25.9 thousand likes, which is good for us. So we're a small organization here of 412 Productions, and we like the Rainbow Connection and what's on the other side. All right, I'm channeling my Kermit the Frog up there from Guy Gilchrist. Great dude. Hopefully, many more years on this planet Earth. I saw after we lost, you know, two legends in Xander and Texas Walker or Texas Ranger, Texas Walker, Texas Ranger. We lost a bunch of other people not too long after that. 2026 is not slowing down with the passings of celebrities. Again, it doesn't break my heart, that people pass away because they didn't contribute to my life other than entertainment purposes only, you know. And and yes, I'm probably very flat. And so, you see a lot of people boohooing and crying, and then you got the people that are cheering because those people passed away, so on and so forth, because they lump them in a specific category. To me, they were celebrities. They did not contribute to my life. They weren't a relative of mine. They didn't pay my bills. They didn't write me on a constant basis. So they passed away. Okay, big deal. Um, Life goes on. People are going to say the same thing about me when I pass away. You know, it's going to be, oh well, you know, he didn't pay my bills. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. And if you come to my funeral and you're crying and carrying on, and we didn't talk on a regular basis, why? Why are you crying? You know, I separate the individual from all else. If not, life would be too rough. Now, I get that. Absolutely. But I'm just trying to figure out why so many people get so fucking distraught over a celebrity's death that all they did was give them entertainment purposes. Like these two icons behind me right here, and the one that's on my shirt. Um, yeah, great musical talents. Both gone too soon. It didn't stop my life because number one, Chester Bennington never wrote me. Number two, Chester Bennington wasn't paying any of my bills, nor was Ozzy. Yeah, I grew up on Ozzy. Only got into Linkin Park in the later years of my life. Other than that, oh well, they're gone. Okay, big deal. Yeah, we just had Chester Bennington's anniversary on the 20th, I believe. So 3 days ago of his passing. And, it's, but for you to completely break down over a celebrity's passing and they had nothing to do with your life. Now, if they were a relative of yours, I get it. Now, if they contacted you on a regular basis, I get it. If they contributed money in some way to you, I get it. But the millions of other fans to just completely break down in sobbing tears of, you know, I don't get it. I didn't even do that when Stan Lee passed. I didn't do it when Sam Keith passed. Two great artists in their own right on the at separate end of the spectrum. Stan Lee being a writer, you know, editor in chief, so on and so forth, creator of so many characters that I love. Okay, he passed. So sorry, but again, he didn't pay any of my bills. He didn't contact me on a regular basis. We weren't on the phone kicking it. Sam Keith. I'm going to be doing a memorial piece for him because I want to. Because the Max that he created for Image Comics was phenomenal. The Max character was just amazing. And again, gone too soon at 60 something years old, you know? And then I saw another female actress that just passed away yesterday or today, or I think it was yesterday. She was like 51 years old or something like that. Way too young to be going. Um, but again, it's not stopping my day to mourn over their passing like it did a lot of people. There was people that took off work for certain actors and actresses and musicians passing because they couldn't handle it. Would you do that for your own family member? That's what it boils down to. Are you going to act that same way for your family member when they pass? I guarantee mine won't, most likely, if I had to guess. I mean, heaven forbid something were to happen to me and my girlfriend, because I think she's going to be the only one that's going to be crying at my funeral. Um, Whenever that is. I think I've got another 50, 60 years in me, but we'll see. You know, and if that happens, if I have another 50 years in me, that'll put me at 106 years or 104 years old. Don't even know what age I am. So that'd be cool. 104 years old, still kicking it, still listening to some Ozzy. 50 years from now. But no, identify a mesh. Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand, you know, and it's just probably the way I'm wired, and I get that. There's probably going to be a couple of others. I don't even know if my own kids will cry at my funeral, you know. But there's a country song, and I don't do country, but there's a couple of people. There's probably been about 10 different people I've seen that have posted the same country song about their passing that said, "Whenever I pass, put this song on and start looking around at the reaction of people," because it says basically you didn't come around whenever I was alive, but now that you're at my funeral, um, you're crying and mourning my passing and telling me all these good things that I did. Well, why didn't you do that while I was alive? Why didn't you come around and tell me that these things to my face? You have to wait till I'm gone to do all this stuff, to tell people your lies, basically, because that's what happens at funerals sometimes. If you weren't 100% in on this person's life and you backed away from them or whatever, and then you come to their funeral and start spreading some bullshit that, oh, they were the greatest person I ever knew, and it's going to be so I can't believe that they're gone, and it's just like, why didn't you tell them that to their face while they were alive? Roy, great dude, give the shirt off your back, awesome friend, love you, man. Casey, great guy, will support and talk about all kinds of cool stuff, has lots of cool adventures in your life. Great dude. Love you, man. And we don't get that enough in life. And I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm not looking for any recognition, of life. because I'm not the greatest human being by any stretch of the imagination. Two failed marriages, you know, don't have a savings account right now because why? I've got to use it. Those type things. Um, and I know that I'm no saint. Absolutely 100% no saint. You know, you go ask my ex-wives, and they'll tell you I wasn't a saint. They'll even make up some shit, you know. And that's okay, you know. People are going to make up shit no matter what. So just listen to your funeral when you're on the other side. Come back and sit on the front pew and listen to your funeral and see what they have to say that they didn't tell you to your face. And it amazes me that we wait until we're at the funeral to say our piece. You know, why can't you say your piece while they're alive? My stepdad, not the greatest person in the world, but there's going to be a lot of people that are going to put him on this pedestal that he didn't deserve. You know, when he passes, who knows when that's going to be? You know, and it's not just kind words, man. It's the truth. Yeah, we all have our sordid past. We all have our things that we're not proud of. We all have those times when we know we shouldn't have done what we did, but we did it anyway. We know the person we are. And we give a little bit of that glimpse to other people as we talk to them. And then we can let ourselves be real to certain people as well. And the world needs more of that instead of the fake bullshit persona that we portray to certain people. And we have way too much of that bullshit out there right now that you don't know what the real person is behind what they're saying on social media. Even when you get in the same room with them, you don't know which side of the aisle they're on. And I'm not talking politics. I'm just talking about, are they going to be what their presence is online, or are they going to be what they've been to us before? You know, so just be real. Is that so hard? Do you have to throw up a false front all the time? Some people, that's a yes. I have to have a false front all the time. Some people, if you don't like me, piss off. Don't care. That's me. If you don't like me, I don't care. You know, I'm still going to live my life true to who I am. And I'm not going to be false just to make you like me. If you don't like what I say, oh well, that's you. Go get an attitude adjustment. I don't know what to tell you. But if you're going to throw up false narratives at my funeral, don't even go. It's that simple. Don't go to my funeral. Don't fake cry because I'm gone. And I don't want you crying at my funeral anyway. I want my funeral to be a party, a celebration of life, not a ho hum, meaningless atrocity, if you will, of what you didn't enjoy in my life. But yeah, you're at my funeral anyway to talk me up as this great person. No, I wasn't a great person at all. You know, I want a Viking funeral. Put me in a little dinghy, shoot arrows at me that are on fire, and let me sink. because that way I'm cremated and then I'm back to fish food, you know, otter food, whatever is going to be in that river, you know, and just be honest with people. Be who you are. Don't be fake. Don't be a douchebag. I mean, some people are going to be a douchebag anyway. And just be real with people. That's all it takes. You know, be who you are. And if people can't stand that, go find somebody else. Because I'm not going to be what you want me to be. Because that doesn't make me live my life. That means I'm conforming to what you want. That means I am pretending to be something I'm not. And I've done that way too many times in my own life. So, you know, and I stopped giving a shit a long time ago, especially towards the end of my second marriage. You know, that it's just a big eye opener with a lot of things like that. Whenever you lose relationships and things, and then you see who's there for you in the end. And I saw who was there for me in the end, and it was about this many people. I could fit them on one hand, the people that were there for me towards the end of that marriage. And this is religious folks that we're talking about that call you brother and call you friend. And then where are they in the end? I should have wrote a whole book off of that one right there. Because all that rhymed. I'm surprised Kelly isn't here. I'm surprised Tiffany or Tammy's not here. I don't know why I keep calling her Tiffany. And I'm surprised they're not on this morning as well. Kelly Badass, of course, is the author of Thoughts on Thoughts on Thoughts, and then Thoughts on Thoughts on Thoughts from the Upside Down. Her two books are out there on Amazon right now. You can go pick those up. Kelly Lee Judy is her name over there if you want to look her up on Amazon. And then, of course, Tammy is the one that goes by Love on here. She's a cool character as well. Lives up in Chi-Town and the Windy City. She does a lot of cool posts out there when she's doing her around town stuff. So that's pretty cool. Then we've got David Casey here. Very awesome dude. Lover of life, a musician, and he also has a buddy that is a damn it, it all just escaped my head. He's got a name. What's that bird's name? And what is he? Can't remember what the fuck he is now. All that left my brain. What his name is, your bird friend out on the river, and then you got Roy out here, over here, who I'm trying to think of some good things to say about him. Um, when it comes to stuff outside of, sports, um, because his sports teams suck except for the Dallas Cowboys. And Fred, yes, the spoonbill, yes, the spoonbill. See, all that just left my head. I knew where I was going with it, but then yes, Fred, the spoonbill bird, one of those big prehistoric birds that could eat your head if it really wanted to. They've got a sweet sound that will make you shit yourself in the dark. Um, that's just the cool kind of a bird it is. I want one, to be honest, uh, to live here on the homestead because that would be awesome. Um, Back to Roy. Roy, he's a cool dude. He has fun with life. Eats way too much Brahms, and I'm just gonna be real, buddy. You worship the wrong sports teams other than the Dallas Cowboys. Um, he is about 5 feet tall. Yeah, they're awesome birds, 100%. But Roy, again, is a great dude. He'd give you his shirt off his back, um, and he loves life as well. He's not giving up on life either. And so, if you want to get to know those two guys, get to know them. They're good dudes. Dennis, I'm sorry he's not here. He loves life as well. He's into horror movies and a bunch of other cool stuff like that. Mr. Nice Guy, I'm surprised he's not on here just because he likes to send me a bunch of AI videos that, buddy, I'm just going to let you know I don't watch them because number one, they're AI videos. But he's a cool dude as well. Roy is funny, and can take a joke. Absolutely. Unfortunately, Roy does become the punchline of a lot of jokes, especially with his teams that he does follow. Um, which, he doesn't follow some of his teams as much as he likes to think he does. Uh, your lay cares and your what's your baseball team? The Cardinals, and then of course your college of choice, which is sad. I'm sorry, um, the barbecue school, and then of course the greatest of them all is the Dallas Cowboys, right there, the only sports team we can agree on, right there, and which is cool. I mean, you've got your opinion on your sports teams in college and in pro, just like all of us do. But you made the wrong choices, other than the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just going to put it that way. Now, back away from your McDonald's, and because Brahms doesn't deliver on DoorDash, so all those good things. But no, you guys are a great audience. I mean, seriously, you guys are awesome. You guys are fun. You guys are. What is your baseball team? Mine is Texas Rangers. Um, when it comes to my sports teams, let's start with college, which is Oklahoma City Sooners. I can root for Oklahoma State just because my daughter went there, but they're not my favoriteest. Any Oklahoma school, Tulsa, stuff like that, I can get behind those just because they're Oklahoma schools. But OU is tops when it comes to my college. Now, when it comes to the professional side, Dallas Stars in hockey, Texas Rangers in baseball, Dallas Cowboys in football, and then in basketball, screw the Dallas teams because I didn't like the Dallas Mavericks. It's Oklahoma City Thunder. That used to be the Supersonics from Seattle. And we also had the Oklahoma City Hornets for a short bit before they got changed to the Pelicans and whoever got the Hornets back, so on and so forth. Um, Whenever Katrina hit and they had to displace the team, they took them from New Orleans to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City showed that, hey, we can sustain a professional basketball team. And yes, the 89ers. Yep. And then the Blazers in the minor league for hockey. Because you had the minor baseball team, which was the 89ers, that got changed into something else later. And then just like the Oklahoma City Blazers got turned into the Barons, I think that's how it went. Because you had the Tulsa Oilers, so you had two semi-pro or minor league hockey teams, one in Oklahoma City, one in Tulsa, uh, and then there was a big divorce that happened with the owners of the Blazers. So he sold it before she could get any proceeds or take half of the revenue from uh, the Blazers, and he sold it to somebody else that changed it into the Oklahoma City Barons. And then I think they just kind of stopped. I don't think they have them anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of changes that happened with all of that, and I don't know. I guess Tulsa is the only spot that still has some of the minor league teams in it. Maybe I'm not 100% sure on that because I haven't followed a lot of the Oklahoma stuff in a while. Because we used to go to the fairgrounds for the speedway. We used to be gearheads and go watch all the race cars and demolition derby cars and stuff like that. The dirt tracks. Whenever they would do that, which was seemed like every other weekend, we were out there uh, watching those. Okay, okay. So what? I probably did see that because I've been to Bricktown several times, and I probably knew that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what teams they are, and I'll have to look that up to see what the minor league teams in Oklahoma are now when it comes to hockey and baseball and stuff like that. So because they did have some. I think they had an XFL team as well. Oh, it's by the bar. Mr. Toby Keith, another one gone too soon. So, but that happens, unfortunately. But welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. And we've been talking about all kinds of cool stuff so far. And the biggest thing that we've been talking about is be real. Be you, be who you are. Don't water yourself down for somebody else. Don't pretend to be something you're not. Be true to your form, be true to yourself. And if people like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. You know. And we are up to 32.1 thousand likes. We are still in the popular live category just because of our likes. Yep, absolutely. You take care, fellas. Have it. Oh, see, you're dipping out now. Do you need a tissue? I got some toilet paper right here. If you need some of that for your tears, you know, because I dissed your sports teams. Or are you going to bed? Are you saying, "Oh, it's getting close to sun up, so I got to go lay down now because I'm a vampire. The sun's coming up. I don't want to sparkle. I don't want to sparkle in the sun." Well, stop putting on the glittery lotion, you little. Oh, you just wanted to get that in. I see. I see. Stop using the sparkly lotion, and you won't look like a fucking vampire from Twilight when you walk outside. All right. Now, the next couple of days, it's only supposed to be in the 60s, so you should be able to go outside without dying. Um, it has been relatively warm around here. It's been in the 90s, so we're getting into that 90 to 100-degree temperature already, um, which a lot of people hate, which I embrace. I don't mind it. My truck doesn't have an AC anyway, so you know. Not yet anyway. I'm working on that. And on the same token, with it, I'm going to be working in the yard more and more, so that's going to be cool. We've started transitioning the baby chicks out to a playpen that's outside, so that they can start getting acclimated to the outside temperatures, just like you do your plants that you have inside. Which I've got a salsa mix of plants right now. I got some blue bonnets. I've got some Anaheims. I've got some. What else did we pick up? Some chocolate cherry hots. Three different tomato plants, but mainly pepper plants, because they had a 99-cent sale at Atwoods, so I couldn't pass that deal up. Especially when you're paying like $3 or $4 a plant, unless you start the seed yourself. Um, so yeah, got our garden stuff getting ready to happen. I still got to get some things moved around back there. I got to get some things cleaned up. I got to put my fence back up because it fell down during the windstorm. I got to get my posts in the ground, all that good stuff. So, so that it will stay up back there. Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah. And so yeah, we got a lot of work that we still got to do, uh, which is fine. It's just how it is, and we'll make it happen. But that's it for today, folks. We've talked about a lot of cool stuff. We talked about a lot about the heavy stuff, as well. So if you missed most of the show, come back, check it out. And as we like to say as we leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.